Merhabalar, hoş geldiniz hepiniz.
Selam.
Ben sadece sizleri sunup yine sessiz kalacağım. Şimdiki panelimiz İngilizce olarak gerçekleşecek, Zeynep Hanım'ın da söylediği gibi. Konumuz Afganistan'da kadın sinemacı olmak ve film yapmak olacak. Sahra Karimi ve Gözde Kural panelistlerimiz. Zeynep Arısoy da moderasyonumuzu yapıyor olacak. Hepinize keyifli dinlemeler diliyorum. Sözü size bırakıyorum Zeynep Hanım.
Teşekkürler Ece Hanım, çok mersi. So let's start.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to give some brief information about you two so that everyone knows you. I think they all know you, but just pre-information. So Sahra Karimi is an Afghan filmmaker and the first female chairperson of the Afghan Film Organization. She has directed many short documentaries, and her first feature film, Hava Maryam Aisha, had its world premiere at the 76th Venus Film Festival. Gözde Kural is a Turkish filmmaker, and her first feature film, Dust, which she shot in Afghanistan, made its world premiere at the Montreal Film Festival. Yes. So, Sahra, I want to turn to you first and welcome again. I just want to say that your escape from Kabul and letting us witness this live from the social media was really heartbreaking. At the same time, it gave us all an anxiety attack. It was so intense. I just want to say that we're happy that you're here with us and that you're safe, most importantly. Can you tell me if there's a difference?
Thank you very much for inviting me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me? Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I think she's gone.
Sanıyorum Sahra Hanım'ın internet bağlantısında bir problem var. Bir iletişim kuralım hemen kendisiyle.
Tamam, bekliyoruz. Oh, you're back. Can you hear me,
Yes.
Sahra?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me, right?
Can you hear
Okay. Your voice is a little, it sounds a little weird to me. I don't know if it's from my connection. I don't know. But it's like it's coming from really far away.
Yeah.
Okay. You're freeze now, frozen.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you better. It's much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you please repeat your question?
I didn't ask my question. I just said that I'm just happy that you're safe with us here right now. It's good to see you because, you know, we witnessed your escape from Kabul and it was so tense and we were really worried about you, but you're now safe and here. So welcome again. Okay, let me jump to my question now. You used to live in Afghanistan. How is it to be a female Afghan woman there? And how is it different to be a female filmmaker in Afghanistan? Is it different?
So it is a very hard question because it needs a lot of explanations and like hours and hours of discussions, but I'm going to make it more short. Of course, being filmmaker in general, it is a very hard. It doesn't doesn't even matter you're a woman or you're a man. Being filmmaker and being creative person and live with your creativity, it is very, very hard, because it is not just like some handwork, you know. You should really use your talent, your creativity, your energy, your experience, and a lot of your emotion, especially when it is about filmmaking and it is about storytelling. So all of your body and soul and emotion, everything come together and to help you to create like a story or to make film. So it is very hard, because sometimes when emotionally you are under attack, and or maybe physically you are under attack, or any kind of financial circumstances like attack you, so it will have effect. But being female filmmaker, it is more hard, because if we just shortly talk about history of cinema, it was always in the hand of men and male. It was very male-dominated industry, filmmaking. So recently, past few years, that women they started like to be producers, to be storytellers, to be like camera women, and to be like directors, scriptwriters. Mostly we had scriptwriters, but being in position of director and producers and distributors, it is now like something that happened past years, like 10 or 15 years. So when it is very male-dominated industry, and it is very male-dominated profession, and it is always this male gaze, you know, always trying to tell stories from their own perspectives, and they just to tell even stories about us women. So it is very sometimes difficult. It is I think being a female filmmaker, it is privilege too, because we really, I maybe some even female filmmakers, maybe some of them, they say that it is not any difference between male filmmakers and female filmmakers, but I can say from my own perspective that we have totally different perspective, and we are looking at things totally from different angles. If you see nowadays new films and that directed by women, you can see differences, you can feel differences, and you cannot just ignore it. And it is more interesting, it is more diverse and everything. But unfortunately, so it we go to more detail, like being female film director or female filmmaker inside Afghanistan, it is very, very, very difficult, because Afghanistan, it is a very patriarchal society. It is a very male-dominated society, and it is very anti-woman society. It means that when you decide to do something, they look at your gender. They have very sexist definition of any kind of profession you are going to do. And when you decide to do very unusual profession, very unusual job, which is filmmaking, which is itself, it is a taboo in Afghanistan, and you as a woman, you decide you decided to choose to be like film director or a scriptwriter, but usually film director. So you face many judgments, you face many difficulties. You not just start to fight with with difficulties that are connected with your profession as a filmmaking, but with many difficulties and struggles that it connected with mentality of the society, with the behavior of the society, how they look at you with their judgments, and and those judgments and those wrong behavior and the mentality of society, it attacks your emotion. And of course, when it attacks your emotion, when it underestimate your abilities and underestimate your qualities, so if you want or if you don't want, it has its influence. You lose your energy, the energy that you need for creativity. You feel like so much under stress, and this stress really sometimes destroy all of your creative world. So for me, when I decided to be filmmaker, when I decided to study film, I didn't think about this, that it is maybe difficult, because I am from second generation of refugees in Iran, and I saw many Iranian film directors, female film directors. And also when I studied in Slovakia, so I saw many female directors or cameramen or scriptwriters. So for me, it was like normal. And I thought that it is okay. And I thought that maybe when I studied this profession in academic, with higher academic level, I studied this profession. When I go back to Afghanistan, they will respect me, and my knowledge and my education and my profession will have some value. But unfortunately, when I returned to Afghanistan in 2012, in the middle of 2012, I just witnessed a lot of injustice, like a lot of judgment, a lot of disrespect, a lot of rumors, a lot of like, you should do that, you should not do that, and you are that, you are not that, do not must, and shoot, do not shoot something. So I just understand that that being filmmaker and being creative person, being talented, and in the same time being woman, it is kind of crime in Afghanistan, because they look at you that you did something, you did, because they always want from you, okay, if you're a woman, and if you are Afghan woman, because they have in Afghanistan, they have such a definition for Afghan woman that they say, because you are Afghan woman, you should be this, okay. But if you want to study and if you want to work, so it is very good you to be teacher or doctor or maybe engineer or maybe a nurse, something like this very well accepted professions. But when you want to be painter, when you want to be photographer, when you want to be filmmaker, when you want to be writer, or I don't know, when you want to be artist, it is kind of crime. It is something that you cross your border. So it is difficult. It was difficult. And for me, it was extra difficult, because beside being female film director, I was also the first woman who was a director general of Afghan film, which was totally male-dominated organization. And when I started to bring changes, when I started to fight against corruption, when I started to ask and demands quality work, and when I started asking about deliveries, good and with high quality deliveries, like films, then they show the real faces that they hate me, and they started to make many rumors, many judgments, many other things that they just wanted to destroy your reputation. But if I was man, they wouldn't do that. because previous CEOs and previous head of Afghan films, they were all men, and they did many big mistakes. Our industry was in miserable situation because they didn't do anything, but they never talk about them. They always talk in very good level about them. But when I came with, and I brought like many changes, and I did many reforms, then I did the biggest crime. So you can yourself understand how it was difficult.
But again, I have to say something here. You talked about like being the first chairperson, like the general director of the Afghan Film Organization, when something is more men dominated. And you said that you faced very, different things from men when you were in Afghanistan. How did you even become the chairperson there? Isn't that, what you did when you were inside it is something totally different, but just becoming that chairperson can you just tell me a little bit about that process, how you become?
When I started to make my feature film, Hawa Mariam Aisha, inside Afghanistan, I think Geze, she understands how it is very difficult making films.
Yeah, I know.
Especially
I shot my movie before her.
Yeah.
So, I know what are you talking about.
So I didn't make my film like independently. I didn't even get permission from Afghan film. They didn't give me permission. And when I went there, because I brought many equipments from Iran. Oh, it was so difficult, And I just needed two lights, and I went to Afghan film and I asked, sorry, I have like 800 kilo lights and equipments, but I just need two lights, which usually if you buy those two lights, it is $1,000 maybe, or less or more. But they asked me to borrow me that two lights, $7,000 per few days. So I was arguing with them, oh, this is too much. And they said, okay, because you are our Afghan and you want to make independent film. So it is 2,000. So for a few days, I paid to Afghan film to director, the former, CEO of Afghan film. I paid $2,000 to have two lights. And then when I become a CEO, I understand that those lights doesn't cost anything. So he got money from me just because I didn't know about rules and regulations, because I wasn't informed. So when I saw these difficulties and I saw this kind of that they really didn't care about filmmakers, they didn't help. Even sometimes they make problems. They make some issues very difficult that you cannot make films. So when I finished my film, and I think they just kicked him out because he was very corrupt. So the position was free, and I just applied. And I said, okay, I am filmmaker. I can help other filmmakers to make films, at least to give them free permissions, at least to give them free equipment, because it is not, okay, I had that $2,000. What about other filmmakers? What about young filmmakers? So I applied, and there were 4 men too, okay? And their 4 men, they were from inside Afghan film. So they were, I don't know, in the different sections. I won the computer exam, which was online exam. I won it, and then I was the only person who won the position.
Who can pass? Yeah.
So when I went to the office, everybody looked at me like, she stole from us that position because we were here, and we like, it was like we should have that position, but it was merit process. I didn't go No, I wasn't any political figure. I wasn't any ethnic figure. I just applied, and there's a competition, and I won. So when I came to Afghan film, when I went to Afghan film, it was totally destroyed the organization. Very, very unhappy employees. They didn't know anything. They were so old-fashioned employees, like old-fashioned, I mean from filmmaking point of view. Yeah. Didn't know anything. There wasn't any system. There wasn't any rules and regulations. They come and they just sign their paper and they go. So I started to do, because I started to do system. I started to create system. I started to ask them about the responsibilities. I started to give them some tasks. And they started to hate me, because first of all, they told me, oh, she is so young and she's coming to tell us what we should do. She is a woman. How a woman can give us orders? How she can ask do that. First year, they tried very much to manipulate me, because my way of working is that I don't do changes immediately. First of all, I observe, and I wanted to know more knowledge about that office, that organization. And then in year, I started to do some developments, and I started to do some changes. So I brought new people, I brought fresh people, young people, and the second year they started to fight with me. Such a dirty fight they started to do with me that even you cannot believe. Even there they attack my dignity, my honesty, my profession, and everything. And they attacked me on social media. They slandered me with many rumors. They started to, for example, there was a rule and regulation. I think Gaza, she knows that when you get money, there is a 3-step. First, you get money for pre-production, and then you get money for production, and then for post-production and delivery. So I created this system. I give them money for pre-production. I give them money for production, and for delivery, they didn't deliver any work, so they didn't get any money, And then it started this. They shared these rumors. Oh, she steals those money, but nobody asked that about rules and regulations. That okay, you got 2x money. Where is the work? Where is the film? Where is at least the product? So but I'm thinking, okay, I was victim of corruption of that previous former CEO, but nobody talked about him. He was the best. He was the everything. But because I was a woman, and especially, when you are an educated woman, and they cannot manipulate you from that educational perspective and professional perspective, they cannot manipulate you. So they start to hate you, and they show this hate. And I was, last few months, I woke up, and really sometimes I didn't want to go to office, but just the responsibility that was on my shoulder, I went to work, because it was awful how they behave with you, their attitude, they attack you.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite a story, and it gives you the chills. So, Gözde, you worked in Afghanistan. You shot there. Yeah. Why, in the first place? Why Afghanistan? And then, were you prepared to shoot there? Did you know what you were going to face, and were you all prepared? And did you face everything you were prepared for?
I'm still looking for the answers, actually, why I did go to Afghanistan. But Afghanistan is still, was and still very special place for me, actually. I was very young, maybe 22 23 or 24, I don't know. One day I just woke up and, okay, I'm going to Afghanistan. My mother said that, why? I don't know, I should go there. I know about Afghanistan's history, blah, blah. I was interested in Afghanistan history. And I went there like 9 years ago. And I said, okay, this is the place. This is the place which fits, you know, everything inside of me. Still, when I was talking about Afghanistan, I was just, you know, feeling thrilled and blah, blah. I can understand Sahra very well because I remember the chairman of Afghan film. It's impossible to shoot something if they were only options. It's impossible. It was impossible back then. Because the only thing that they thinking about is money. They don't know anything about film or blah, blah. I shoot some scenes like some lights, for 2 big lights. I mean, really big lights from Soviets. And it was too expensive, I remember. And for the first question, you know, I'm still looking for the answers. You know, I don't know why I did go to Afghanistan. I maybe 4 or 5 times I went to Afghanistan, and I shot my first movie 6 years ago, and I'm still, you know, missing, and it's killing me, you know.
So, okay, other than you had to pay for, you know, maybe twice or 3 times than usual, was it hard to be a woman there, a woman filmmaker?
Yeah, actually, I don't look like as a Turkish woman, you know. Unfortunately, they thought I'm Canadian or American. It's the most dangerous thing in Kabul streets, you know. So I faced many times. Like I remember one time I was in Vezir Ekberhan Hill. I was shooting photos for my film, you know, for places. I heard a sound like, okay. I turned back. There is a soldier putting Kalashnikov to me. And okay, what should I do? I don't know. I remember that he's just yelling at me, but I don't understand because it was my first time. I can now understand Farsi, Dari. But back then, I don't know anything about it. So it was the, you know, maybe 5 minutes or 6 minutes. I don't remember, but we were like, okay, what should I do? He was like, the gun is like, hear my noise. Not as a woman. Being a foreigner in Afghanistan is hard. And being woman foreigner in Afghanistan is harder. Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
Gazda, I can add about her experience because I'm sure that she even didn't tell where is why she just shared with you a very small percentage.
Yeah.
Because you know, because in Afghan film before I came, there wasn't any budget, any national budget for making films. Wasn't any equipment. When I came to Afghan film, I brought, because I knew British Council, I had a project with them before as a filmmaker. I asked them, please, can you just renew and buy some equipment for editing room? So they, you know, the new brand equipment, like laptop, like everything, almost 330 33,000 like a pound. They bought equipments for editing department. For example, I pushed the government. I pushed to have a budget. You know that Gaza, she can tell.
Yeah.
$1,000 $100,000 budget is nothing for film, but I pushed the government. Okay, can you just give this budget so we can at least to produce short films, documentary films, and those things. I launched first national film festival, first national award. Like we made it, we like drafted policy of cinema, many film festivals, education.
In Herat, right, Sarah?
No,
in Herat.
One, we made it like a state, like country.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
they didn't see anything of this. They didn't see any achievement of this. Okay, but the only thing that they look at me, because I was so hard on them, and I told them, if you don't deliver the work, you are not going to get money. You know, they started to make from this a lot of things. You know, I was in 2 years when I was head of Afghan film, and we gave a lot of free permission to filmmakers to make films, any kind of filmmakers. For example, there were filmmakers from Turkey. Okay, they came and they went to Bamiyan, because some people, they said, no, don't go to Afghan film, blah, blah, blah. So they went to Bamiyan, and our security, they catch them and they call us. So I told myself, so what can I do with them? They just catch them. And, you know, immediately on phone, I said, they have permission. Their permission is in our office. Just they forget. Please let them to film. So this kind of cooperation we did, these kind of things we did, many films they made. You know, and then suddenly, because I was asking for delivery, which was my right as a head of a Afghan film. I give you money, deliver the work. So you know, they started to make rumors. You know, even they started to tell that I as a woman, I was just the head of Afghan film. Afghan film is a small organization if you compare with big organization of cinematic organization in the world. Okay, they announced that I was one of the reasons that the country closed, because
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And think about it. It is war zone. It is war zone. You know.
And it's been like that all the time. Yeah.
We forget about it, Sahra, because it is, you know, ongoing war. Still there, because permission is very important.
When you look at this and you say, you put your love, you put your femininity, which they judge it every second. Okay, you're a woman. They tell you, you are woman, because you are woman, we respect you, because we are a woman, we are not killing you, because you are woman, we are not telling you. Otherwise, if you weren't woman, we would kill you, we would attack you. But you know, they slander you with many ugly. They attack your dignity just because you're a woman. But here, at least, I am so happy that Gaza, she is here, and she can say that the previous one was a man with awful behavior. He was the biggest thief, but nobody thought about him. So this is the problem when you ask about how it is difficult to be. I think it is very difficult to be empowered woman in Afghanistan. Then a film, you know, I think it is then when you are a foreigner filmmakers, it is double crime. You know, this is how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. I haven't shot in Afghanistan, but right now, if I was given the chance, I would think 3 times or 4 times before I went there, I guess, because probably right now it's impossible to do that, right?
Yeah, you shouldn't. For now,
you shouldn't. You are not going to.
Don't write about Afghanistan. You can't shoot there.
Yeah. But it's really hard. It's really hard to shoot anything in Afghanistan. It's a different phase of this, you know. It's war zone. There can be explosion. I'm sorry. In Kabul, sometimes it's safe. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, nothing. But 3 days, it's the most dangerous place on earth. And you don't know that. You don't know the timing. You can getting maimed or killed, blah, blah, everything. Other phase of it, yeah.
At this point, you had to get a permission to shoot in Afghanistan, right? And you had to have your script read there.
Yeah.
So I think your script is a little tense. So how did they even give you permission? That's the most interesting part of your, story, I guess. I mean, your shooting story. It's a really tense story. So how did you even get the permission?
I don't think they read the script. I don't think so.
Isn't that a little ironic? It is ironic, right?
Everything is ironic in Afghanistan. Actually, I'm sorry, but it's ironic. Yes, I don't think they read it, and I was sure of it. I'm sure they didn't read it. Probably, I gave them treatment. I gave them synopsis and script, of course, but they just say, "Okay, you can go," because we gave the money to them. So yeah, we are here now.
Okay. So did you have any other females in your crew, other women, or it was just Öykü, who's your main actress?
No, I have my first aid was woman, makeup artist was woman, and costume designer is a woman, but the rest of them are men.
And also you had an Afghan crew, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Afghan crew and actors, actresses.
But you only had three.
Three, yes.
Okay.
Three. Me and Öykü, so we were 5 of them. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, Sahra, you attended the Venice Film Festival, and your film was premiered there. How were the reaction in Afghanistan to your success? Did you get any reactions, good reactions, and how was it? Were you welcomed? Did people look more different to you at that point?
To be honest, I'm not very welcome figure in Afghanistan in general, because I'm different. My attitude and because I'm very outspoken and I directly tell what I think. And I grew up in Europe, I have this European attitude, so they hate it somehow. And when I had premiere of this film is totally independent film. It doesn't have anything with Afghan film or with the state, okay? And yes, it has, because we gave $2,000 because of those lights. But it doesn't have any permission from Afghan film because they didn't give, But when I had it, we filmmakers, it is one of our dreams, like to have our films in big film festivals, premiere, because it is those film festivals, they are not selecting our films because we have a beautiful eyes. They are selecting our films because those films are valuable, and it is with they fulfill some standards of storytelling, but and my film, when I came to Afghanistan, because I show it almost 20 times in Afghanistan. They were pro and against. Some people, some women, they like it. Some men, they hate it, which was normal, which I'm so happy that they watch it. But filmmakers, film community, they hated me because of that film. how she could make that film. And then she also joined Afghan film. You know, my film, through merit process, was selected for Oscar 2019, but they didn't elect it. They wrote a letter to Oscar that she is head of Afghan film. For that, her film is there. So it was another big lie, another slander that they tagged me with, you know. So I was never, and I am not a welcome figure because they hate very independent women, and they hate very even women, even because mostly women are against women in Afghanistan than men against women, you know. And they just said, oh, she made this film because she wanted to be famous. Oh, she made this film because she just wanted to be like head of Afghan film. But those things are nonsense. But in general, I'm so happy today with all those difficulties that I faced. I'm so happy that I made that film inside Afghanistan, because it is one of the last film that we were able to make inside Afghanistan, because it was very, very difficult to make this kind of film inside Afghanistan totally independently without any money from anywhere. So I'm happy, and I accept all those challenges that I made film for history of my cinema of my country. Even people, some filmmakers, they hate me. Some filmmakers, they don't like me. Even they are doing some rumors, they're attacking me, or they are making a scandal, or whatever they do, because I don't care really. But I'm so happy that I made that film. Today, my film and other few films from Afghan filmmakers, we represent cinema. We go everywhere, and we screening our film and defending Afghan cinema. And for me, it doesn't matter that those filmmakers, they don't like me, but I'm proud of them. They could make those films.
Okay, but right now, so you escaped from Kabul. You're not there anymore. Do you have any other filmmakers, friends who are in Afghanistan right now, and do you know what they're doing right now?
Almost, you know, there are two groups of filmmakers in Afghanistan, real filmmakers, because we had some filmmakers, they were fond of, and any kind of films they could make, but filmmakers that they knew how to make films. There were some filmmakers, they lived outside of Afghanistan, like in France, in Netherlands. They came to Afghanistan, they make their films, and they went to their houses. So they weren't in Afghanistan during this fall. We were just two of us. We were inside Afghanistan. I and Shahbanu Sadat. We were inside Afghanistan, and we forced to leave Afghanistan. And others, they were outside of Afghanistan, and they had their lives. But now they're using the benefit of being Afghan filmmakers from everywhere. But to be honest, I and Shahbanu Sadat, we were in danger. Really, Shahbanu was for many days, she was at airport with her family. I was for many hours at airport with my family. We couldn't find a way to escape. I want to tell you something, because first of all, I'm so fond of like Crime and Punishment Film Festival, because I can honestly and openly talk. You know, because I work with government, because I was one of successful female filmmakers inside Afghanistan. I think during the evacuation, at least my name should be in one evacuation list, you know, at least, you know, but my name wasn't in any list, If please finish it. Any list, my name wasn't. They didn't even care about me if I stay alive or not, you know. But the only chance that I had, that I was well-known filmmaker outside of Afghanistan. For example, I had my film in Crime and Punishment Film Festival, and Bengi, she started to ask for help of Turkish embassy and Turkish people to help me, or Ukrainian government, they wanted to help me. Otherwise, I wasn't in any list. Nobody even called me. How are you? Are you alive or not? So this is the sad things of our jealousy. They hate women, they hate empowered women, and they don't want to support those women that are successful. And I don't know what Gaza want to say, but you can add.
Yeah, I'm trying to make. I was trying to make some lists for evacuation. We maybe tried for a month. I just one real filmmaker that I know. He is Hacı Gül Aser.
Yeah.
You know him.
He's
really decent. He won an award in Antalya Film Festival. He's still, for example, trying to escape from Afghanistan. But Sahra is right. There are a lot of people who we don't know anything about them, filmmakers or not. They escaped in the name of filmmaker, Afghan filmmakers, unfortunately. But the real ones really stayed there, or some of them are really struggled to flee from the country.
There are few filmmakers, especially from Hazara ethnicity. They stayed in Afghanistan. They cannot get out, and they have films, and they are well known. And for example, Hajikul and everybody, they cannot, but there are many people under the name of filmmakers, artists, and blah, blah, blah. They are in France, in Germany, in Italy, and wherever. But we weren't in any list. We just had our friends, for example, in Turkey, in Ukraine, in Slovakia, they help us. Otherwise, we could stay there. And if they kill us, they said, okay, that's good that they killed you because we hate you. This is the very sad reality of our profession. We in Afghanistan, especially in our profession in cinematic, cinema community, we are so jealous. Jealous of our fame, jealous of our success, jealous of our everything. And this is very bad. And this will destroy cinema of Afghanistan. Okay. This will never also give motivation to other filmmakers to come to make films inside Afghanistan. Right now it is very difficult. But look, before fall of Kabul, any foreign filmmakers who had experience making film inside Afghanistan, he or she didn't want to come for the second time in Afghanistan because they faced many difficulties. They took money from them. They told them many lies. When they are females, they harassed them. Whatever. There were level of harassment against female filmmakers or international female filmmakers. So it is very difficult in this country like Afghanistan. Okay, you as a woman do a decent job because they attack you in different level, in very, very, very dirty level.
Well, they want to make a closed society, a closed country, so that no one comes in and no one goes out. But then who are you going to make the films for if you don't, and who is going to make the films if everybody flees from your country? I think the most important question is that. So how are you going to look when we go back in the history, how are people going to see Afghanistan's history in films? Because there won't be any history shown in films because there will be no films, right?
It was supposed to be, yeah. Please. There was a new generation like Sherbanu, Sahra. They are trying to do something, and probably they were supposed to do this, but after Kabul of fall, they tried so hard. They tried so hard for education, everything, but everything, you know, in one day, everything collapsed. Please, if you want to add something, I just want to add.
Yeah, you know, there were new generation of filmmakers. It doesn't matter they were outside or inside. It doesn't matter. They were generation, okay? Past 10 years, they started to make films, documentaries, fictions, animations, good films, bad films, whatever. But in any platforms, there were always female filmmakers. For example, Sharbanu, she had 2 films in Cannes Film Festival. I had in Venice, somebody had in Locarno, somebody had in Sundance. So we were part of this big platform. We started to be part of this big platform with all difficulties. I and Roya Sadat, we made film inside Afghanistan with all difficulties. Sharbanu, for example, she had a big co-production, so she could make film outside of Afghanistan. But you know, we started to make films. We started to do, and I always told people during these past 2 years, please make film as much as you can, because there is no censorship, there is no limitation. I will give you permission. Whatever you are going to make, I will take this responsibility. But you know, the system that they started, like their way of understanding of filmmaking was so very low quality. For example, because during these past 18 years or 20 years, NGOs, they started to misuse young filmmakers, young talents to make short films for purpose of NGOs or some projects. So they give them like 20,000 because of 3 minutes films, 30,000 because of 10 minutes films. So they started to be very, their demands of financial demands to make kind of films, it was very high. But when you had like a state budget, which is very low, and you tell them, okay, this is my budget, and I want from you like 60 minutes documentary film, but they say, no, we are not going to do that. So, and there wasn't also any kind of solidarity and unity to make a new wave of filmmaking. Like they couldn't cooperate with each other. They couldn't wanted to make a small group to make films. So these kind of difficulties that we just waste time. We couldn't use time, and now even they become united. Even they become the best friend, all these filmmakers, even all the countries that they help us to make films, but we cannot make films inside Afghanistan because now Taliban, from their perspective, is forbidden to make films inside of Afghanistan. Of course, I can make films outside of Afghanistan, which I am going to make. Sharbanu is making films outside of Afghanistan, which is okay. But how many films you are going to make outside of Afghanistan? Are you going to rebuild entire Mazar, entire Bamiyan, entire Kabul, entire cities outside of Afghanistan? It is not okay. It is not real. Of course, in filmmaking, you can do whatever you want with these digital things and everything, but for long term, it is useless. You know, okay, one film you get award, second film you get award, third film you get award, and then what? Everything is not about fame. Everything is about money. It is about telling the story of that nation. Because cinema is identity for the nation, art is identity for the nation, and this is that we artists, we filmmakers should justify our stories. So this is that I am talking. It is like now all filmmakers, all educated people, all like intellectuals, they're out of Afghanistan. So who are going to fight against Talibanis? Who are going to fight against this radical way of thinking? So this is the problem, that now Afghanistan is empty of creative people. When there are not creative people, there wouldn't be creative work, you know?
Yeah. Okay, my next question is going to be, Gözde. I know that you're getting ready to shoot your second film. Can you give us some information about it? Is there an Afghanistan in it? If yes, how are you planning to shoot it?
Yeah. 4 years ago, after we wrote on the streets when during the shootings, we were there. So really, on the walls, we passed during the shootings. Now I see that I left a part of my heart and soul into those streets. So I turned home. Months passed, but the journey was not over yet. So this time I set off the Afghanistan inside of me to search for the missing pieces left behind. So yes, it will be about Afghanistan again, and we will see. And unfortunately, I cannot shoot in Afghanistan. It is sad for me because I'm trying. You know what? It is my special interest. You know, I adore this country, but I'm still searching for answers about Afghanistan. So that's why I'm still searching for it. I'm feeling responsible because I saw something.
And it just became something like an obsession for you, I guess.
But positive obsession, not negative.
Of course,
it's positive obsession. So we have responsibility. You know, we saw everything. This summer, the world saw everything. So we are responsible. Now we forget about everything, right? The world forget about everything.
Yeah, of course, because something is popular for some time and the social media just talks about it for some time and then everything is just over and they just look for another subject to talk about. It's how it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's not over. But
it's not over.
Has fallen and it's still fallen. I mean, it hasn't changed. Taliban is still there. It isn't over. How about for you, Sahra?
So I am really struggling with many things because I left everything, my life, my work, my dreams, and my craziness. Because when I was in Afghanistan, I was the most crazy person, the most crazy version of myself. I believe that there is nothing for me in Afghanistan impossible. I don't know, maybe I faced many struggles, I faced many difficulties, but the love that I have in Afghanistan and the kind of passion that I have for my profession, it always made for me like everything possible. And you know, somehow it worked. Whatever I wanted, even with difficulties, in the end it worked. It worked. So I left everything behind. But I'm a storyteller. I am a filmmaker. This is my responsibility to tell a story about my country and to remind the world that what you did to the nation that they had a life there. Because unfortunately, the world, international community, they think that there wasn't any life in Afghanistan. So people of Afghanistan didn't lose anything. So Taliban didn't take anything from them. But I want to show, no, there were many lives there. And the cities, villages, people, young generation professional people, educated people, men and women, they were active. So my next film is Flight from Kabul. It is, yes, about that 42 hours of my waiting for evacuation flight, which is just the main line. But I want to tell about the life before 15th of August in Afghanistan. Life of women, young women like me and my friends and those people. So we are finishing the script, and I hope, because I started also to look for locations, perhaps I'm going to shoot the Kabul part in Kurdistan in Iraq. And in 2023 spring, I'm going to shoot this film. Mm-hmm. My producer, she's Slovakian, and the Ukrainian country will help. Or I think Turkish, I have a co-production with Turkey too, because part of this survival evacuation was also Turkey. And I'm also writing new script, like which I will make in Europe. But I'm working also. You know, I teach at National Film School in Rome, Cinecittà. So I keep myself busy because this is the only way to heal myself from those pains and those sorrows. Because every day when I wake up, I just see Kabul, and I want to return to Kabul. I don't know what happened to me, because I am not very emotional person, like attached person. Usually my family, my friends, they always call me a cold stone, because I never call, I never communicate, write, and I'm always like, I'm very busy with myself. But this time it happened. I am attached to that city. I love Kabul. I love Afghanistan, and I love or I miss that Sahra, that crazy filmmaker inside Kabul, wake up at 5 a.m., running, taking photos, talking with people, listening to many dialogues, going to buying fresh bread, and walking and enjoying when a young man look at her, and a lot of moments that I miss of that city, that ugly city, you know, because Kabul is ugly, but it is also beautiful. So I miss that. So I'm going to tell. We call Kabul Jan. You know what's Kabul Jan? I think the only city in the world that you put Jan, it is their Kabul.
Let me tell
heart.
Turkish. Yeah, let me tell the Turkish version of Can. Can means cığım. Yani Kabilciğim gibi. Evet, Zeynepciğim gibi.
Yeah.
gibi.
So, sorry, I am a girl from Afghanistan, and I'm storyteller of that land. So I cannot stop telling stories of my country and my people. Maybe that country didn't like me so much, and the people didn't appreciate my work, but I love those people and I love my country.
No, I think they love you, but just not the right people are there right now. So hopefully everything will change. Everything will change. We just have to hope and not lose hope, I guess. So we have only like less than half an hour left. I just want to turn to the questions the participants are asking. So one question is from Özlem Ünal Dıbaza. She asked, what do you think about Turkish cinema and women's rights in Turkey? I think you can both answer this. We can start with you, Gözde.
they asked, do you understand it? What do you think about Turkish cinema and women's rights in Turkey? Yeah, okay. Actually, I don't think anything about Turkey yet, women's rights in Turkey, because when I started to think about the women's rights in Turkey, it's, you know, I feel complicated and getting angry because it's getting worse day by day. But I'm thinking, of course, something about Turkish cinema. It's more, I feel more calmer than rather than women's rights. But I think it's going well. We got some process, and I'm thinking that it will be more good. I'm seeing the future more bright, you know, about Turkish cinema.
Yeah, we can be at least as, I'm not going to talk about women's rights because it's going to be like a totally different conversation here. But the filmmaking is, I mean, there are a lot of women filmmakers who are progressing each and every year, and that's good, and that's a happy thing to see right now. And Sahra, do you like the Turkish cinema, and how is it for you? And also, you may also answer for the women's right, of course, in Turkey.
I think women's rights are the same like in Afghanistan, but in different level. So I'm not going to, because this country, this region, like South Asia, like Middle East, Afghanistan, and those countries, there we are the same, but in different levels. So we are suffering the same issues. We are facing the same difficulties, and gender equality, and patriarchal society, and position of women in the society and in the family and workplaces and everything. We know about all of these things. So it is totally different issue, but also it is not very different issue too. But I'm very, very hopeful for Turkish cinema, because Turkish cinema is going to be very female dominated, because there are many young female directors that they're really good. And you can see that in big platforms, in important platforms, there are female, young, beautiful, bright, talented female Turkish filmmaker that they are representing their films. And to be honest, I think many filmmakers, they don't like to hear that, but there was a woman behind the all success of Nuri Bilge Ceylan, Zeynep Atakan. She was the producer. She introduced his film to big platforms. So and there are also many good producers, because you know, one thing is that you are a filmmaker, you're a film director or a scriptwriter, but one thing is that you're a producer, you are finding money. As much as we have female producers, so it is very good for female film directors too, because really it is sometimes very hard. Like female film directors, they work with male producers, because I think Gazla, she knows that what I mean. It is so difficult, you know. But but very good than when two female they work together. So you will have a very good if you continue in this way that you are continuing past few years that they are promoting female filmmakers. So I think you will have a very good future for. And stories of women, you know, because most of us we would like to tell stories about women and femininity and our struggles. So then more stories will come in surface and people can watch it.
No.
Okay, here's another question from Jada Anzar. What exactly is your motivation to shoot a movie in Afghanistan, a country where even living conditions are difficult?
Soru bana geliyor galiba.
Yeah, this question is directed probably to Gözde.
Ya eğer sakıncası yoksa Sahra içinde bunu Türkçe cevaplayabilir miyim eğer sorun yoksa?
Sahra, if it's okay with you, Gözde would like to answer this in Turkish because it's going to be easier maybe to express her feelings exactly as it is.
Şimdi şöyle ki, sorry Sahra. Ne motivasyon, çok gençtim ve herkes bana yapamayacağımı söylüyordu. Yapamazsın, edemezsin, gidemezsin, öyle olmaz, böyle olmaz. Herkes işte o parmak kaldırıp sürekli olarak işte parmağını böyle yapıp hayır yapılamaz, hayır edilemez, hayır gidilemez dedikçe bende de tam tersi işliyor her şey. Nasıl gidilemez? Orada insanlar yaşıyor, biz film mi çekemeyeceğiz? Motivasyonuyla oraya gittim. Ve nothing as it seems, as the saying goes, so it fits so well to Afghanistan. Gerçekten hiçbir şey göründüğü gibi değil. Yani orada insanlar yaşıyorlar. Gayet işte bir jenerasyon oluştu orada. Korktuğumuz ülkede 20 yılda bir jenerasyon oluştu ve maalesef en çok üzüldüğüm şey o jenerasyonun corrupt olması şu an. Yani tamamen bir gecede bitti ve herkes kaçtı. Orada kalanlar neyin mücadelesini verecekler Allah aşkına bir düşünün. En çok üzülen şey bu zaten. Benim motivasyonum buydu oraya giderken. Yaşama koşulları da evet çok zor. Fakirlik de var aynı zamanda. Ama bu yapılamaz denilen şey bende kişisel bir meseleye dönüştü. Ve oraya gidip bunun yapılabilir olduğunu hem kendime hem insanlara göstermek istedim. Çok da gençtim tabii. Bir de neyi değiştirmek istiyordun? What do you
aim to change by making a film there? Yeah.
Tam olarak yani ben ondan sonra 26 yaşında korkunç böyle tabii o benim için çok acayip bir şey. Çünkü çok fazla mail almaya başlıyorum. Birileri böyle bir şeyler yazıyorlar falan. Çok alakasız bir şekilde acayip ilham oluyor bu tip şeyler insanlara. Yani bir şeyin yapılabilir olduğunu göstermek bizden sonra geleceklere ya da bizden sonrakilere belki de yani öncekilere daha doğrusu cesaret edebilme cesareti öyle diyeyim. Onu görmesi genç bir kadından inanın bana hiçbir şey yapamadıysam da 5-6 kişinin, 5-6 genç arkadaşımızın hayatına ucundan köşesinden dokunmuşumdur. Hani yapılabilir olduğunu göstermek ve o insanlara bir de böyle nasıl söyleyeyim hikayelerini alıp çalmak istemiyorum. O yüzden oraya gidip orada çekip o kondisyonlarda yapmak istedim bu işi. Yani en azından motivasyonum buydu. Teşekkür ediyorum. Bu kadar.
I'll just be brief about what she said. Gözde said that actually it's about her personality, a matter of personality, because she's a stubborn person. And when everybody told her that she shouldn't do, and why is she doing, going there and shooting something, she was so stubborn about it, and she wanted to show people that she could do it and that it should be done. So briefly, that's what she told us about. Yeah. Would you like to say anything to her, Sahra, about this?
Italian. Because I have the exact like personality like her. When somebody tell me you cannot do it, so I do it. If they tell me you do, maybe I don't do it. But
most probably.
Somebody tells me you cannot. That when somebody tells that you cannot do it, it is impossible. So I do whatever to make it possible. So I can understand her, and I think it's the best personality because I have the same.
So yeah, and it was important to be there, to be a guest in their houses, to witness their stories. It was important for me, firstly. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Başka sorusu
I
olan
understand.
varsa
Yeah.
bir 15 dakikamız kadar daha var. Sorularınızı alabiliriz. I have another question, Sahra. It's about the female actors in Afghanistan. How I assume it's harder than to be a filmmaker, to be a female actress in Afghanistan is harder than being a filmmaker. So do you have any actress friends who are still there, or did they flee with the fall of Kabul? Do you know what has happened to them?
Most actresses that maybe old generation they left this with these evacuation flights to Germany or to France. My own actress, one of my actresses, she stayed because I couldn't get her to any flight. So the only flight that I could get her, there was an explosion. So they just went home. So I'm trying to get them out somehow. But most of the actresses, they left and they are in safe place. But we don't have really professional actors or actresses. Few professional actors we have, which Hajigul is one of them. And but actresses, they used to play in theater, but we don't have like very professional like film actresses. So I, for example, I prefer to work with actors because they are you can like shape their character and according what you want. But unfortunately, this was one of the biggest problem that when we were for female for actresses, we had always problem because some of them they didn't want, some of them their families didn't let, and some of them when they played in movie and then they came that please don't screen the film inside Afghanistan. So there was all an issue about actresses inside Afghanistan, but most of them they are in safe place, and I try my best like to get my actress out of Afghanistan. Still, I am struggling with it. Yeah.
How about you, Gözde? The crew members you worked with, are they all right? Have you heard from them?
No. The Hajigul, I know, but actors, you know, the other ones are already outside of Afghanistan. But Hajigul unfortunately left there. I'm still trying to do something for him. And it's the interesting subject because really you cannot find any decent actress in Afghanistan. It's something we must discuss sometime.
Yeah. Big problem. I had also.
Mm-hmm. But again, it's about, you know, the important thing is about, I don't think it isn't because there isn't any talent. It's probably because.
Sure. Sure.
There are, of course. I think Afghan people, they are very good in playing many different roles. Okay. Mm-hmm. In region in generally, our mentality is that we are playing in our real life many roles. Okay. So, but this is about, you know, it is about quantity of productions. So when you have many productions, so you can involve many actors and actresses, but we didn't produce many films. So for that, we couldn't somehow educate many actors and actresses, so they didn't have any possibility. Always there was 1 or 2 films per year, so they could have like any chance to play in. So but also we didn't have proper school for filmmaking or proper school for for actresses and actors. So this is a very different subject that I think we should
a
platform. Yeah.
Okay, here's another question. This is for Sahra, and they're asking if you are thinking of working in a project in Turkey.
Yeah, maybe, of course. But you know, I think Turkey. To be honest, Turkey has many talented young filmmakers, female filmmakers that I would love to see their films. And I think Turkish people, Turkish filmmakers, Turkish female filmmakers, they should tell their stories. And I think it is stories. I believe that they should create their narratives. I don't want to make a film like a tourist and to show from my perspective how ugly or beautiful is Turkey, Turkish society is. I don't know a lot about Turkey. I just know about my friends. They are beautiful, wonderful people. But you know, if you want to make a film, it is not always about beauty. It is not always. There are many very serious issues that I think Turkish filmmakers they know very well how to articulate and how put those issues in their stories.
Okay, Jayda Anzar has another question. So, Ms. Sahra, what took you from Slovakia to Afghanistan?
The love for my country, and I wanted to be the storyteller of my people. I didn't want to be. Of course, I could be a very successful filmmaker, immigrant filmmaker in Slovakia and Europe, but I wanted to be a storyteller of my own people inside Afghanistan. And I wanted so much to make film inside Afghanistan. And I didn't want it like to just go as a tourist there and few months sitting there and catching some fragments of life of people and just making film and coming. I wanted to live with them. I wanted to be part of their daily life. I wanted to be part of the issues in Afghanistan, and I wanted to travel a lot, and I wanted to speak with people. I wanted to sit with them, to listen to their stories and to capture what they think. So for that, I decided to leave everything in Slovakia, and I went to Afghanistan. Of course, as I told in the beginning, I faced many difficulties. Sometimes I regret why I returned to Afghanistan. But now today, I'm so happy that I was there, because those experiences that I gained and those experiences that I have, I wouldn't have if I didn't went there. So I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for those 9 or 10 years of my life in Kabul. Every single day, with all the explosions, with all fears, with all difficulties, I'm so grateful that I had chance to live in Afghanistan.
You also answered that question in the opening ceremony of the festival with your speech, and which was really touching. It was a touching speech, and we really heard what you were saying and how you felt about your country. I think what's special here is that you don't only love your country, but you want to do something for it. Yeah, I think the magic is there.
Yeah, because I believe something, because in these countries like us, like Afghanistan, that filmmaking, it is a not very welcome profession in general. And being female filmmaker is not very common, and it is not very respectful job for female. When you become a female filmmaker, it is kind of very big responsibility. It means that they choose you. It means that, I don't know, God choose you. I don't know, whatever, the biggest power choose you to tell these stories. I think I studied mathematics and physics. Okay, I always wanted to be architecture. I love buildings. I love like drawings and design and interior design, and still I'm doing that. But I never did it. I never finished it. I never become an engineer or architecture or anything. But but somehow life had a different story for me to be storyteller. So I went to Slovakia. I studied almost 10 years of my life how to like filmmaking. So, and then I returned to Afghanistan, and another 10 years I stayed in Afghanistan and making short films, documentaries, fictions. So it is my destiny, and it is the only thing that I know, and the only thing that I want to do. It is my responsibility. I don't care that people of my country and many other filmmakers from my country, they don't value my work, and they are hurting me non-stop. I don't care at all. But I will care so much that I shouldn't waste my time just not doing nothing. You know, I care a lot to make films, and I will do it. I will stay forever storyteller of my people and my country, because I love very, very much that country. This is something that it is part of me. I cannot cut it, you know.
Another question from Jada again. She likes asking questions, and good questions indeed. How did you maintain your desire to make films about Afghanistan after you had to leave Afghanistan?
Maker. I cannot do nothing. You know, I tell you something, okay? I don't know nothing. I don't have any business. Just making films, watching films, talking about films, reading about films, and thinking about films. I don't have any other business. I'm not businesswoman. I'm not mother. I'm not wife. I'm not anything. I don't even cook. I don't have nothing. I'm so busy. 25 hours I'm busy with film. So this is the only things that I need to make films. This is and good films, you know. Making good films is very difficult, by the way.
I think the main thing she's asking is because, you know, you had to leave your country. She's asking, how do you even think about writing about something about the country you have left? You have to leave, actually. But that so you answered again, you know, in the very beginning, that it's about the love for your country, I guess.
Yes, you know, because I should make films. I should make films, okay. But this is very good that you make film about your own experience, because it is something that you really know. And also, I want to tell the other side of our stories, because there are many cliches about our countries, and especially about Afghanistan. But with all those cliches, we have many untold stories to the world. So I am one of those people from Afghanistan. Then my desire is to tell untold stories about my homeland.
Okay. So we have very little time left. Can I have your last words? What would you like to say?
I just want to thank Crime and Punishment Film Festival for inviting me for the second time to this film festival. And I would like to thank Benji, because she helped me a lot. She helped me to get out of Afghanistan and help my family too. And I'm so grateful to receive that award. And I would like to thank people of Turkey that they welcomed many Afghans among them. And I hope that my people be grateful for this help and support, and they don't do wrong things. Okay, so and thank you for screening my film in this film festival, and I'm looking forward to see many good films from female film directors from Turkey.
Yeah. Make more films, girls. Come on. Yeah. Thank you. For everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank too for this opportunity to have this wonderful conversation with you, two good filmmakers. It was great to be with you here, and thank you for answering all my questions.